Drew,
Yeah.
getting stuck in an elevator with Cher. Best thing ever or worst thing ever?
That's the best possible thing that could ever happen.
Why?
Cher is a gift to this world and this generation.
You have such a strange definition of gifts.
Have you seen her Twitter?
Cher is a gem.
I've not seen her
love
Cher.
Cher.
Then you don't.
It's
then you haven't
beautiful.
received the gift.
We found Cher in a selfish place.
All right, let's start
That's
the
how I
show.
feel about Cher. All right, welcome to 87.7 The Shrek, your number one source for all the Shrek news, Shrek memes, fresh Shrek memes. We keep up to date on all the Shrek blogs, just to get you guys all the newest info and the newest jokes and everything.
Right.
We do
so
important work.
Yeah, so we're not doing that. So this is actually for real. What it actually is, real time for real, is Worst Thing Ever with Dylan and Drew. Hi.
Hi,
I'm Dylan. I'm your best friend.
I'm your worst friend, Drew.
And we have with us our very good friend. I guess he can't be a good friend. He's our very best friend. Chris Burke.
It's okay.
Hi, Chris.
No, I'm not.
Hello. Our sweetie, sweaty friend, Chris.
Sweet Chris.
I'm a little sweaty, but not very sweaty.
A little sweaty, but very sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
Just right.
Chris is...
First he's salty, then he's sweet.
Just the right amount of moisture and sweetness to brighten your day.
exactly like that. Chris, you are a Florida native. You are in the film industry. You are master of currently sleeping on our couch.
I'm
do
actually
a lot of things.
sleeping under it because I feel like if I'm there, monsters can't be. But I realized the other night
Monsters
that,
don't like sleeping on couches.
yeah, maybe now I'm the monster. It's kind of a looped narrative.
That was a real M. Night Shyamalan twist you just put
Whoa.
on that.
Yeah.
Well, that is not a good sign for my film career.
As I understand it, your wife kicked you out?
Yeah, she hasn't. She's not speaking to me. She never speaks because she's a stuffed animal. But lately, it's felt real pointed. So here I am, trying to ride out the storm. She can stare. Let me tell you.
Oh, man.
Well,
It cuts.
I hope you're able to patch things up.
Me too.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Short socks or long socks?
What part of my body are they on?
Your feet.
One of each.
Well, hold on. Let's not make that decision for Chris.
That's
Chris,
true.
what part of your body are they on?
Kind of a personal question to be asking me.
I mean, this is a personal
Whatever
kind
you
of
feel,
show.
whichever, yeah, wherever you feel comfortable with. You know. wherever you
Oh,
feel
okay.
comfortable
Well,
talking about.
the thing that I like to do is, so I'm growing my hair out, and it's really long now.
Yeah, it's
and,
really long.
It's so long, and I like to put it in pigtails and then put socks on that
Ooh.
Wow.
because that way it seems like maybe I have something to hide.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like you're concealing something from everyone.
Yes.
I feel that really, really helps you to pick up chicks.
I bet that really helps you
Well,
when you're
like
going.
it gives you an air of mystery, you know. You're just
It
like,
does.
Oh, man,
It's like what's under there.
what has he got?
Well,
what has
I-
he got hidden from the world?
I bet that really helps you when you're going through TSA as well.
Oh, it does. Believe you me. They're like, we're not going under there. Just have to hope there's no bombs in those. Yeah. So it's a good time for me. But if it's on my feet, then one of each because I like to be prepared, but I don't like to be like overzealous about it. So
Yeah, you know that old Boy Scout saying, always be kind of prepared, sort of, sometimes, I guess,
yeah,
maybe?
that's the saying. I was in
Always
Boy
be
Scouts.
prepared, but don't get wild.
My good friend Dylan here
Yeah, hi.
is a guest on the show.
No, that's not true.
And he has a wild story,
That's true. It's something that happened with all of us.
and I would love to hear all about it.
So, earlier today, this is hot off the press. Hot off the press story.
Steaming.
Steaming hot pile of story.
Coming in fresh, hot Shrek news. Give it to us live, Dylan.
Right. So, I was leaving breakfast. I was getting breakfast at a place, and you
Breakfast
guys were also there.
At the Ogre Hut.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
You
And
have waffles.
we did not have waffles. We didn't have anything close to waffles. Are you trying to derail me?
I had a black bean burger.
look,
That's pretty close.
I'm just trying to have Shrek news, okay?
You do you, man. You do your Shrek news thing. I'm trying to tell a cool story over
All
here.
right, go for it.
All right, I will. So I'm leaving the breakfast place. I walk across the street. And this is like a really hip breakfast place in Nashville. It's in the middle of a neighborhood. There's a bunch of hip 20-somethings that kind of hang out there. And it's pretty popular. There's a lot of people outside, who are waiting. And this red Suburban pulls up to me, right? Mm-hmm. And this guy rolls down the window, and he's like, "Hey man, hey, come over here." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Just come over here, come over here." And I was like, "Okay." So I walk over to this Suburban. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He looks at me. He's like, "You want some pop?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You want some pop?" I was like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "All right." And he just speeds off.
Oh my God.
A flawless business strategy.
Flawless.
This is literally what Dare warned us about. And it's never happened to me. Officer Jenny was right.
I know.
Let me pull up real quick. I've got my second grade I guarantee to be drug-free card.
Wait, do you actually?
I legitimately have this.
Wait, let me see this.
Yeah.
He also has a
Oh my
picture.
Beautiful.
goodness.
It's in a beautiful red, white, and blue.
That is torn up.
It's gotten a lot of use. What can I say? I need to consult it a lot.
This would make an excellent blunt in a pinch. Just a thought.
Oh man, the irony.
So here's 10 things you should have said. I don't do drugs.
Okay, I could have said that.
My parents will ground me.
Right, that's okay.
They will.
I mean, I guess they could.
You must be kidding. I've got someplace to go. I need to think straight. Drugs make me sick. I'm meeting someone soon. I don't need them. I'm happy just the way I am. I want to stay in control or just walk away.
I see, all of those are good, but what I wish I said was, I'm a cop. Like, I wish so badly. I thought about this the second he left, was that he came up and he was just like, "Hey man, you want some pot?" And the first thing I just said was, "Hey man, I'm literally a cop."
Literal cop Dylan
even
Roth.
better.
Literal cop Dylan Roth.
If he had just looked at you and been like, "Me too, I was testing you, good job." And then
You passed.
and you get roped into being a cop because he thinks you're a cop.
True.
And you wouldn't be here. And,
Or he's like, "Me too. I'm also a cop, and I'm busting you for corruption for posing as a cop, and then I go to jail."
oh, that would have been hilarious.
Oh, what a great start to the podcast day.
Yeah, especially because I'm trying to replace you as Drew's friend.
Because Drew only has one friend.
Well, yeah.
I guess I am everyone's best
I
friend.
can only
so.
have one friend, to be honest.
Yeah,
This is like a tryout.
he was cursed by a gypsy as a child. So there are some loopholes, which is why I'm here. But there is a expiration date on this.
It's true.
Triad.
It's weird.
So
So, Chris, I know that, you're really, really into movies. What,
who told you that?
you once or twice?
I hate movies.
Well, that's really unfortunate because
I
of my
like
next
long
question.
form poetry, and I'd really like to share some of it with you right
Really?
now.
Isn't
Yeah,
that,
go for it right now.
isn't that what
Spit us
movies
some
are?
long form poetry, Chris.
Shrek, in the night, in the distance. Thank you.
That is the shortest long form poetry I've ever heard. But
Yeah, I'm
it's-
known for that.
Well, it's a think piece.
That's my style.
It's a think piece.
Go ahead, Dylan. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. No, I actually am curious though. Like, how exactly did you get?
It's like a Hemingway, like it's about what he didn't say.
Right.
It is. But most of what I don't talk that much, so there's a lot of extrapolating that has to happen.
Don't talk that much.
You got to read between the lines.
Yeah, you do.
How'd you get into movies? Like, what got you really into it?
Well, when I was a kid, this is a true story. They had re-released Star Wars: A New Hope in films, and I was 2 years old. And this is my first memory. They re-released it in theaters, and my dad took me to see it because he loved Star Wars. He still does. And I sat on his lap and watched the movie, and it's my first memory. It's the first movie I ever saw. And it's a cool story that also, like, conveniently happens to be true. I was completely taken with it. Of course, I didn't understand what was happening.
You were like 4.
I was 2.
2.
I was 2.
Right.
And it just kind of seared itself into my brain. And so I kind of had that nostalgia built in by the time I could understand it. And I think he sort of shared that fascination of movies with me. He is actually, he does production work as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's I guess how I got into it is I've just always been around it and I love stories.
That's such a huge coincidence because my first memory is going to see 50 First Dates with your dad.
Papa?
And I blame that for one, my terrible memory, and two, my penchants for just like, I will not watch anything that Adam Sandler is not in.
That's definitely the reason why you don't like Adam Sandler, and not because Adam Sandler is a bad actor.
No, I love Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler is actually two people. And it splits around the mid 2000s.
So I know we were talking earlier about what some of your favorite movies are, and I know that, obviously some of them are Star Wars, and we were talking about superhero movies and whatnot. And then we eventually actually started talking about Tom Hanks stuff.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking about Castaway, and you had some really interesting thoughts on that, and I was wondering if you could share it with us.
I actually just watched Castaway for the first time earlier. And, I guess it's a classic, but I'm not really super sure why.
I think it's a classic. I mean,
What do you think, Drew?
I associate that with Tom Hanks.
I'm not super into. I'll get into more later why I'm not super into it, but I just want to hear your guys' thoughts
Okay,
first.
fair enough. Well, first of all, the main character didn't have a lot of agency. He didn't seem to do much. It was like things were just happening to him. First of all, it was basically just a really long FedEx commercial. And
That's true. I'll give you that one.
And no, but he didn't seem to have a whole lot of agency. I mean, it literally, he was just like things were happening to him. It was weird. It was like every Tom Hanks movie I ever see, it's like not watching a character. It's just like, that's Tom Hanks in this movie. And like in the case of the Polar Express, it's like, this is entirely Tom Hanks in every role. But in this, he was
Even
like,
the children.
Even the children. In this, he was almost completely unrecognizable. I don't know if it was makeup or if he had just like gained some weight because he was really like kind of round, and he was very pale. I
don't remember that. It's been a long time since I've watched this movie.
He was like stark
white.
Yeah, he was super white, like super pale.
I think that's just Tom Hanks.
I mean, it could be, but you'd think he'd be tan at some point. I mean, nothing, not even some freckles. He just had that handprint on his face the whole time. It was just like.
Are you talking about Wilson?
The main character? It's Wilson and Beardman, I think. I don't know who plays Beardman.
Tom Hanks is a volleyball. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know who
just
who
this
plays
one movie.
Beardman, but and he disappears like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
And just weird CGI Beardman has to take the rest of the movie.
I know, it's like they didn't even have a plan when they made it. It was ridiculous.
Well, I'm confused. I feel like we might be talking about different Castaways here because I saw it and I thought it was one of Will Smith's worst movies.
What?
And I didn't know why his son was in it at all.
What?
Are you
talking about After Earth?
That's After Earth, Drew. Come on.
Castaway?
After Earth.
Wait, okay, tell us the plot.
Yeah, what happens? What happens in Castaway?
Will Smith and his son, Jason,
Right.
Okay.
jump out of some planes.
Right. So After Earth.
They have father-son bonding moments.
After Earth.
No, this sounds like Castaway to me.
Yeah. They do some running.
So After Earth.
This is Wilson and Beardman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure. Are they
I'd give it 4 stars.
out of how many?
Most of the music, most
I'd
of
give
the movie industry would disagree with you.
Well, I'd give it 4 stars out of all the stars in the night sky.
There we go. There we
okay,
go.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. There we go. That
Which
makes
is
more
like
sense.
at least 200, I think.
No, I think
So,
it's more like 14.
I'm just saying there's at least 50. There's got to be at least 50 stars.
Oh yeah, that's what's on the flag. So I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that
that's
might
how
be a
many
bit on
there
the
are.
high side, but you're right. Like that, there is at least 50. Maybe a little more, but at least 50.
Maybe 52
It's
if
the
we're
same
getting
as,
crazy.
like the number of Tootsie Rolls in this jar that I have here. Can you guess how many this is?
Metaphorical jar that you're.
No,
if
it's a real jar.
If I
I'm eating
guess
Tootsie
it,
Rolls right
if
now.
I guess it, do I win the jar?
Yes, but not the Tootsie Rolls.
Oh yes, that's what I wanted.
12.
No, it's actually 2.
It's just 2 Tootsie Rolls.
But you were close.
I'm not the best counter.
That's okay. I'm not either.
It's true.
So I guess I would give Castaway like 3 volleyballs out of 10.
Out of 10 volleyballs or 10 beard
for
men?
misleading advertisement. Probably out of, if I had to say 10 anything, I'd say 10 hours of my life that I want back. Because I had to watch the movie 5 times.
Before you really understood that Wilson was the main character.
You're just
No,
very
I
confused.
knew that the whole time. I was just trying to figure out why he was in a box at the beginning of the movie. How did they get Tom Hanks in a box?
It is truly a mystery that will go down in modern movie history.
It's
I
a
think
metaphor
so.
for society.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, never mind.
Nobody can keep Tom Hanks in a box. Nothing
No,
except,
that's true.
Nothing except the beginning of a plot of a movie. Nothing but exhibition.
I think Andy from Toy Story can keep him in a box.
But if there's anything I've learned from the scuba scenes in 50 First Dates, it's that you definitely can keep Adam Sandler in a box. You most certainly can.
most certainly can.
Adam Sandler lives in a box. Like, I
It's
think...
been a rough few years, yeah.
Yeah, I think he... I don't know. It's hard for him sometimes.
We all struggle a little bit. Hey, Drew,
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
What would you say is the best thing to hang from a baby's mobile? You know, mobiles, those like little spinny things that you have above baby cribs.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified because I was thinking like a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's for hypnosis. It was an early MK Ultra thing that they were trying to do with like with infants. They're trying to hypnotize them to defeat the communists.
Yeah.
in the early 50s.
Also, they actually originated from Mobile, Alabama. That's actually the full name of it. Is
Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah. So yeah, instead of saying like, oh yeah, you know, we've got some nice stars and rockets and stuff on the Mobile. Oh, you know, we have some nice stars and rockets on the baby's Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah. The baby will
We've got
love
some
this.
nice 40s hanging from the baby's Alabama. I think the best thing would be something educational.
Okay.
Sure.
And something to help them like get ready for the harsh realities of the world.
Right. Oh.
So I think the best thing would be a collection of my first ethics compendium volumes 1 through 4.
What?
We're talking about gems like Mini Machiavelli,
What?
Oh, yeah.
Baby Boethius,
What?
Kierkegaard for kids, Eager One's empiricism. And like, I feel like that's a good choice because I know for me, like my parents just hung several copies of Thus Spake Zarathustra by Nietzsche on there, and then later they added some Schopenhauer.
Drew, what are any of these?
Drew, I'm going to have to stop
Drew,
you because
what are any of
Dylan,
these?
Dylan is an uneducated swine.
Yeah,
So he doesn't understand this, but I do. But I'm going to let you take the lead here, and I'll just listen and nod thoughtfully.
Hey, bus driver, thanks for throwing me under that. All right.
You're welcome.
Seriously, though. What?
well, like I was a little baby nihilist because I was just reading a lot of Nietzsche and Schopenhauer and Camus, and it was it was really rough. So for the first 5 years of my life or so, you know, the things I learned was that 1, God is dead.
No.
Oh, I love that movie.
2, the cave is empty.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I grew up in a real bummer zone.
I-
For those first 5 years of my life, I was constantly just like, "What's the meaning? There is none."
Just one long, oppressive winter of existence.
You're starting to make so much more sense to me.
I didn't learn how to smile until, oh man,
It's actually just an upside-down frown.
I didn't learn how to. I didn't learn how to smile until I picked up existentialism as a humanism in my 6th year of this earthly realm.
6 A.D. after Drew.
Drew, I don't think...
No,
I
that
will-
much is clear. I'm sorry. I don't even mean that. It was just there. I love you, Dylan.
But do you, Chris? But do you really?
I like to make fun of you.
It's true. That way most people like to make fun of me. I like to make fun of me.
You just have such an eager, happy face, and I just wanted to shit all over that.
I just want to punch it. I just want to punch it in the face.
I just want to hit it. I just want to push it.
I just want to push it.
You were saying.
Dude, I don't even remember.
I'm so
But
sorry.
yeah,
I am in the moment.
that was a rough zone, and I just recommend Mini Machiavelli, Baby Boethius, Kiddos, Kierkegaard. I forget what the other one I said was.
Eager empiricism.
Yeah,
Eager one's empiricism.
Eager one's empiricism.
Wait, are these like
Wee Little
Philosophy-
Wittgenstein.
philosophy pop-up books?
Yeah.
The nihilist one is just empty.
L is for language games, which everything is made of.
Oh no.
Dylan, what would the worst thing to hang from a baby's mobile be?
So, I was thinking about this earlier.
I'm proud of you.
I'm thinking so much today.
It's really taxing on him
I know.
and us.
All tuckered out.
I had to go under the couch to get some rest.
So that my thinking didn't bother you so much?
Yeah.
It's really loud and there's a lot of smoke.
Those cogs are whirring.
Dude, you know it. But no, the point of mobiles, is it mobiles or mobiles?
It's mobile.
The mobiles?
Mobos?
Is it mobiles?
MOBAs?
Ball.
Mobiuses.
Mochas.
Mobius strips. It's very confusing for
Right, so
infants.
mobiles. I did it again, mobiles. So mobiles.
Hot Wheels.
So mobiles.
So the point of them is, to stimulate the child, is to give the baby something to look at, something to imagine, something to better understand space. The point of it is to kind of just like make them grow as a person.
Yeah.
So obviously the worst thing to put up there would be the opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's something to stunt their growth, to make them worse as a person.
So
Forever
coffee.
children.
We're going to put coffee up there.
Right, and we're not going to put coffee up there. What we are going to put are several computer monitors that display 4chan boards.
That's a very bad thing to put up there.
We are going to make some neck beard children.
Just hang the fedoras up there and be done. Their tiny little heads. That wouldn't
Tiny little fedora heads.
that wouldn't be cute at all.
No. Oh man, should we be putting like the waifu body pillows up there as well?
Yeah.
And the racism. We just got a waifu body pillow. We've got we have got the
One of the monitors is showing Birth of a Nation.
Oh no.
If you ever try to adopt, social services is going to look at this. And they're
We're
going
gonna
to
have
say,
to cut
nope,
this out of the episode.
we don't joke about that.
We do not joke about sad internet commentary.
Lots
posting
of like
services.
lots of like Forever Alone memes hanging from there.
Eventually,
Speaking of most of the theme of this episode, just so much Shrek. So much Shrek.
There'd
Oh
be
my
a lot
God.
of Shrek. Ooh,
episode.
there'd be a lot of Shrek.
Some real dark Shrek
You know
memes.
it's gonna get really bad.
Some real dank but dark Shrek memes.
I think they're all in
I
that
mean, Shrek
category.
memes that we can't share on 87.7.
Yes.
not family
The
friendly.
best ones, the ones that we can't
The best ones.
we can't encourage you to look them up, but we can't not encourage you to look them up. We can't tell you where they are, but if you look, you'll
we
find
could.
them.
We could discourage people from looking them up.
No,
that is
we-
the opposite of encouraging.
But we have a responsibility to our listeners to not do that. But we also have a legal responsibility not to share them because they are fairly dark.
Because they're awful.
They are too much for any one person to handle.
I remember in my freshman dorm, which was also your freshman dorm, Drew.
Wow.
We lived in a dorm on campus. It was 100 years old.
Yep.
Falling apart. It had a literal burn time of 3 minutes.
Yeah, if
That's no
something
good.
set on fire, the rest of it would also be on fire within what would that be? 180 seconds.
Yeah. So literally, if someone came in and was like, like, oh my goodness, the building's on fire. It's less of like get out and more of like, okay, cool, time to pray and make my peace.
I had an escape plan for every room there.
But anyway, so it's this crazy old freshman dorm that's full of guys. It's the only dorm
Lots of
on campus.
buccos.
It's like the only like really big dorm on campus that had just guys in it. And oh boy, 4chan was unfortunately popular.
Unfortunately popular.
Unfortunately popular.
I'm really sorry that I said that.
Yeah. And I'll just say this. There were many a Shrek meme, many a dank and dark Shrek meme that were posted on people's Facebook walls. So, okay, so, Chris.
Hello.
What is also one of the worst things that you could hang from a baby's mobile?
I think probably other babies. Like as a warning, maybe? I don't
Here's
know.
what happens if you try to escape.
Remember your friend Ronnie? Now you get to look at him all night. I'm not
Just think about what he did.
I'm not going to tell people how to parent.
Good.
And that's the end of that.
That is actually all.
This feels like when you walk into a Raider encampment in Fallout, and they just have a bunch of other Raiders just chilling there, like on pikes.
On pikes. What a
Yeah.
happy little game.
Are these babies like?
Happy fun
Are they
time
at least
game.
alive, just suspended?
Well,
They're just like tied up in ropes, just like.
I don't know that
I was making a weird face and arm features.
I
You know,
think
that's
people can guess.
Strangely,
the radio can't see me doing what I'm
That's
doing.
strangely exactly the same as your rhinoceros impression.
That's true.
Interesting. I don't want to answer that question because I just like to leave things up to the imagination.
Once again, legal reasons.
That's mostly it, yes. And, the Vatican's always listening, so,
It's true.
yeah.
Well, anyway, I got another question for you.
Another.
I know.
This
What
is
a wild
unprecedented.
Dylan's never been this curious.
What a world we live in.
He
What can I
usually has
say,
a-
man? I had my Wheaties this
Yeah,
morning.
he usually has a one-off quota. I thought you turned that down when the Suburban came by.
I want to get back on that. What if we had ice cream trucks, but with pot?
What do you mean, what if?
You do live in Florida. That's true.
Yeah, stupider things happen all the time.
Chris,
Yes.
we actually have a question that we're doing in honor of you.
Okay.
So I know you hella can't drink dairy.
I can't. No, that's true.
You definitely can't.
It's
Like on a scale of 1 to can't, how much can you?
like negative 13 or 14.
I want to
That's
note
really can't.
I want to note that you staying with us right now, I think, is the first time in my entire life where I've managed to remember that.
Oh, it is actually. Your dad frequently remembers, but you don't.
For like a full 2 years, the first 2 years that Chris was lactose intolerant,
Try 5.
literally every time we would hang out, it'd be like, hey, Chris, I'm making some grilled cheese. You want some? Hey, Chris, I'm going to get some ice cream. You want any?
And it was like he was being a really good host, except for that, because he was so like excited about it. He'd be like, "We're gonna get ice cream," and it kind of seemed to other people like he was just being a jerk all the time. Like his
Just
dad,
rubbing it in.
His dad thought he was making fun of me. I didn't because I know him. I mean, his dad does too, I guess.
Once again, thanks to Adam Sandler. Terrible memory.
The question I have for all of us actually comes from a close friend of the show. And by that, I mean literally your sister,
Oh, my sister.
Drew,
Hi, Dylan.
whose name is also Dylan.
I love her.
Wait, so is it? This is your question?
No,
She's
this
my
is
favorite
Dylan
human being.
Swisher, your older sister,
Is
on the
that
Facebook.
like an
Yes.
amalgamation of you two. I know you guys are
on
close.
the Facebook.
On the Facebooks.
Okay,
On the
Dad.
Facebook groups. Asked us a
Okay,
really
Grandma.
important
I was
question.
on the Facebook.
And in honor of you, Chris, I decided that we should talk about it. Drew, what is the worst alternative to dairy?
I've had soy. I've had almond. I've had chocolate.
Is that an alternative? It's still dairy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you just eating soy?
Yeah.
Because that's not a good alternative to
I've
anything.
I've ate soy.
Like just right out of the field?
Lard, that part sucked too. Honestly, they were all really bad. So all of them.
So
I'd
all
say
of them.
all of them are very bad. I don't like any of them. I think they should all go away.
So equal
hurts.
playing field. If you had to rank every single one of them from 1 to 10, they would all be the worst.
Yeah, they'd all be. Yeah.
I got it.
I thought we didn't do
What-
scales on this show.
What-
Thought it was just one or the other.
Well, I collapsed
Hey.
them all into one same thing, and they're all
Fair
like, there's milk, and then there's not milk. And
Also, Chris,
Yes.
don't tell us how to run our own show logic.
what do you think the worst one
I'm
is?
making kissy faces at Dylan.
You are making kissy faces. I think the worst is probably Four Loko. I don't feel like I even need to explain
Are
that.
you sure?
I don't even need to make some kind of clever one-off joke.
Just like
That's
get your
like-
bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. And
That's
dump
like
some Four
opening
Loko
your
in.
wallet to look for $1 and finding $100.
Well, it was
this is
heart
just
healthy.
better. It was heart healthy, but I didn't like that.
That wasn't good enough. I do life to the extreme. I also have not only a death wish, but a diabetes wish.
Yeah, my meal groups are like cereal and Four Loko, lean pockets and lean cuisines that I just dunk a bunch of bourbon on.
I want you to imagine, so you're making mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And you got the noodles, and
This
you
is
got
already
the butter,
counterproductive.
and you got the cheese, and then you just open up a can of Four Loko, and you're just pouring that in. You're like, this is just going to be such a nice midday treat.
The thing is, you've already noted two things that are very much dairy.
Oh my God, Four Loko cheese.
Four Loko pasta.
That sounds great.
Just let it
I'm
solidify.
so glad that Four Loko got banned.
Did it seriously?
It's illegal.
I think it did. I think it's illegal.
Well,
Like, it
I
was
don't
real
I
messed
don't
up.
want to be just sleepy or just wired. I think I need something more dynamic than that. I need to be both
be
at the
both
same
at the
time,
same time?
and a lot of both at the same time. So now I'm gonna have to find another way to do that. I think I have a solution though.
Yeah.
I think the way that I'm gonna do that is to just watch a bunch of Ken Burns documentaries and then hire someone to slap me in the face like 8 or 9 times. I think
That'll
that'll
do
do
it.
the job. It's not as fast, but it sure will be effective.
So is that going to be just your morning routine? You're just going to wake up, do that, and then you're ready for the day?
Well, I'll probably have to start at like 6 p.m. the day before. If I'm ever famous and Ken Burns finds out about this, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it's true.
But I'm not going to be a documentary filmmaker, so who cares?
Never say never.
I'm sure he's a very nice man, but I don't want to watch any of his documentaries.
I'm just imagining like your life becomes the purge. It's like the purge, Burning Man, and of course Ken Burns is after you.
Yeah, Ken Burns is allowed to do whatever he wants for a day.
Only Ken.
He
just
chooses to stay indoors and watch water polo
We've
on
made
ESPN 9.
we've made Burning Man nationwide and mandatory. And
He
by
could be
Burning Man,
anywhere.
we mean Ken Burnsing.
Ken Burning
Ken
Man.
Burnsing Day.
Yeah.
Ken Burnsing Day, which is where when you look at things, you just slowly pan your head back and forth like this. Because that's all he does. It's
Can
just a bunch
confirm
of
for the
pictures
audience.
slowly zooming around the screen. It is a form of hypnosis.
It's like when a screensaver comes up and it's just the
That's
bouncing
exactly
logo.
what it is, but slower. And there's no way to cancel it.
There's no escape.
You can't just wiggle the mouse around. It's a nightmare.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that won't ever exist. And I'm glad that what you say will never exist. I'm glad that what I say will never exist. But I do hope that
Dairy alternatives
what
exist.
You're
Unfortunately, they do.
That's a good.
Four Loco exists.
Well,
The potential
mine
is
won't be
there.
ever used for dairy, and I guess
Never say
yours
never.
are inherently used for dairy.
You've
'cause you
thrown
said
the
all of
idea
them.
out. You have introduced the idea to the internet. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Oh
Good
man,
job.
Murphy's Law. What is the best?
Okay, well,
the best alternative to
I
dairy?
actually am lactose intolerant, so I did bring some alternatives for you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to keep an open mind. One of my favorite ones.
Like,
is,
wait, where are they?
well, I have some almond milk here, and it's really good if you
Is
want to
that
try.
just an almond in your water cup?
Here, let me try that.
It's almond milk.
I try to keep an open mind. I know that I was like really talking some mess earlier about dairy alternatives, but I don't want to be close-minded about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this.
It's almond milk. Yeah, almond milk is basically just water with one almond in it.
One almond.
Let me try that again. Okay.
I think I misunderstood what almond milk was.
No, it's
all these
check
years.
the ingredients. It's literally just like water with one almond in it.
What's wild is that like it tastes exactly like there's not even a walnut in this water.
That makes
Or
sense
almond.
because there is not a walnut in
Yeah,
this
no,
water.
that's basically what almond milk is.
It tastes exactly like just one.
Oh, I thought it was
almond
gone. I was like,
It
you
just-
swallowed the
tastes-
almond.
You can't taste the almond at all.
No, you can't. In fact, when you pour cereal in the morning with almond milk, it kind of just feels like you're
Like
terrorizing
wet
a tiny
bread.
swimming pool.
Dylan, I have a question that Chris asked me a little bit ago
Oh, really?
that I've been sitting on for a while, and it's really stressing me out.
Okay.
And I want to know the answer to it.
Chris, why don't you ever ask me questions?
I ask you questions all the time.
You don't
Dylan.
ask me any questions.
Well, you're too busy like trying to think.
Oh, okay. Actually, that makes
It's
sense.
hard to hear over all the grinding. Sometimes.
The clicking and the whirring.
Yes.
Machine learning. You're taking your time.
What can I say? I'm an early stages AI. I'm trying real hard.
You're the girl from Ex Machina.
Yeah, let's hope you don't become super duper racist. Stay off of 4chan.
I'm gonna stay.
or
off
really
of
just Twitter.
What's the best thing that could fall on you that weighs more than 50 pounds?
Chris, that's a great question.
You know the messed up part? I don't remember asking that. But I know that I did.
You just kind of say things to me and like they stay. They stay with me, but they clearly don't stay with you. Like it's a
Clearly.
I guess it's
just-
just
It's
you
just
know?
a stop on the road for you that you just blow past, and for me, it's just like a red light that never seems to end.
Yeah, that's how talking to me has been described. Like
I've been told.
it's weird that you say that because
Do you remember-
my grandma said the same thing.
Do you
to me the
remember
other day.
when our friend Tyler Ross called you in the middle of the night and said, Chris, snails are going, but where?
I
What?
do. I forgot about that, and it kept me up all night. He
What?
just
Where did that even come from?
Tyler's deepest thoughts come out at night.
They do.
I know, but like, how do we get from things falling on you that are 50 pounds and greater to
I don't
Tyler
know.
talking to you about snails?
Chris and I
just-
have a lot of history.
We just felt like excluding you, Dylan. Sue us.
Can I? Is that legally viable?
Probably.
Probably.
But I have like 3 buttons to my name. And I lost one of them in the middle of that sentence.
So you have 2 buttons to your name. I probably won't be suing you. Okay, so best thing to follow me that is 50 pounds or greater. I would probably say, if I was being honest with you,
Oh, be honest.
Don't do that.
I'd probably say a dramatically oversized lottery check. I'm not talking like a regular oversized lottery check. Like those are probably like 5 pounds. And like those will do.
Yeah. But
Like,
5 pounds is only going to buy you like, some chocolate at Tesco.
It's true.
So,
but really what I'm looking for. So, that 5 pound check.
that was a really solid Britain joke that you just breezed through.
Too subtle for me, man. Too subtle for me. I'm just whirring along, man. I'm trying my hardest. Don't you see the smoke that's rising from my headphones?
Yeah, we should probably take the batteries out of the smoke detector.
It's true. We got to end this podcast now. We got any minute before that ruins the recording. No, but like, getting hit with like a regular 5 pound lottery check is great because you obviously are getting hit with millions of dollars. But like, I want a more dramatic oomph to it when I get hit with millions of dollars, you know? Like when I get smacked in the face with a 50-pound thing, I want to go flying and understand that this is the beginning of my new life.
Well, you
want 4 weeks in the hospital.
You
want
want
hospital.
Right as this giant check lands on you, you want to already know what you're spending it on, which is of course your hospital bills.
Yes. I want this money to be gone before I even see it.
I want to take the choice
before I even come
out
to.
of all of this.
Let's just put this in perspective. 50 pounds is like a medium-sized dog hitting
Which
you in
is
the face.
also one of the best things that could fall on you, as long as the dog was fine, of course.
As long as the dog was fine.
But
Yeah.
you're not fine. Like you also go to the hospital, but it's like, was the dog fine?
50
Okay,
pounds.
we're good. Is this just a Slippies thing all over again, Drew?
This is a real story. I almost crashed my car the other day. Man, my parents are not gonna be happy hearing this. I almost crashed my car the other day because I was concerned about the safety of a moth that was like resting on my windshield.
Why?
I've never been prouder
Well, I was
of
about
you.
to go fast. I was about to get on the interstate, and I was like, "No, you got to get off!" And I was like paying a lot of attention to this moth. And
Pay attention, kids. He's a role model, and I do mean that. That's it. Dylan's just shaking his
Dylan's
head at
looking
Drew.
very incredulous at me.
Yeah, that happens.
That happens from time to time.
He's just trying to catch up.
So I actually want to tweak this one a little bit. So obviously there are some pretty terrible things that could fall on you that are 50 pounds or more. So
Sure.
that's like that's a boring worst question.
Yeah.
So I want to tweak this. What is the worst thing that could fall on you that is less than a pound?
I'd say a series of mental health dilemmas that just get worse and just spiral out of control and just continue to go. Siri's looking up mental health for me right now. Thank you, Siri.
Siri knows you need help.
That wasn't, yeah, that wasn't a cry, Siri. That or a scorpion, maybe?
I think they're both pretty bad.
What do you think, Chris?
Both are going to require some kind of therapy,
Yeah.
whether physical or otherwise.
Yeah.
What do I think?
Yeah.
That would be bad to fall on me. Probably evidence of some kind. Like in
What
holes.
kind of evidence?
Like in holes where the shoes fall into his hands, and then the entire rest of the book or movie happens. I mean, it all starts because that less than 1 pound thing falls into his arms. Alternatively,
and then
then
like
you
he
wake
gets
up
sent
20
off
years
to a
later.
basically a prison camp.
And then you wake up 20 years
Exactly,
later and you're
prison
Shia LaBeouf. I think this is partially why I developed an anxiety disorder, because as a kid, I was terrified that like one false move where I accidentally have a pair of shoes fall on me would be enough for me to be sent to a work camp.
bam, you're digging holes in the desert. I mean, that's
the other one,
literally
Chris?
just like one loose shelf at a Payless shoe source. And then you're in prison.
Yeah.
And people maybe die or maybe not.
Yeah. And then 15 years later, you're
You're
in the third Transformers movie and trying to understand what you've done with your career.
Yes, the vulture that is Michael Bay has preyed on your corpse.
Yeah, I don't want to blame the victim Shia LaBeouf here.
No, I don't either.
On the matter, this is Michael Bay's doing. What was the other one you were going to say, Chris?
Oh, the box set of the prequel trilogy from Star Wars. That would
That's a
be
pretty
very
horrible
bad.
one.
That would be very bad indeed.
All the memories come back.
Especially if you felt compelled to watch them. I don't know why anyone would, but
Ooh,
You-
man,
I feel very strongly about this.
you feel it. You're feeling the spirit.
Ooh, I am. Believe you me.
Speaking of I know I'm skewing this around a little bit here, but I think the best thing that could fall on you that would weigh less than 1 pound would be school spirit. Or patriotism.
I hate both of those things. Participating is not for me.
I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden, I really feel like I need to go to an assembly, a full school assembly.
Some kind of assembly.
I hope
Yeah.
there will be pom-poms.
to be an American.
They- okay,
At least I know
real story.
I'm free.
After 9/11, they made us sing that
The man
No.
who died,
in grade school.
who gave that life to me, and I'll
proudly stand up next to you. Oh my God, my conditioning is coming back.
My conditioning.
I don't want it.
I am the Winter Soldier. Another real story. Do you guys know the song Butterfly Kisses?
I'm really glad that you're not telling us fake stories, Drew.
As he tends to. Yes, I remember the song Butterfly Kisses.
So
I actually don't remember the song Butterfly Kisses.
Oh, it's about kissing someone with your eyelashes.
Oh, wait, yeah. I went to a wedding recently where that was the first dance with the
That's unfortunate.
Where that was the
daughter.
theme.
Well, that was the
Father-daughter,
father-daughter
I'm
dance.
Where that was
yeah.
the theme, and they had a photo booth, and all of the props were just giant
No,
eyelashes.
it was actually a photo booth where they sealed you in and then they released a ton of butterflies. Like so many that it
Pictures
wasn't
of you having a
fun
panic
anymore.
attack.
Yeah, it's like that episode of SpongeBob.
And, like everyone. We don't need to explain. Everyone knows what episode we're talking about.
They better.
So we're all familiar with Butterfly Kisses now.
Yes.
Yes.
When I was in like third grade, my principal, Mr. Robinson, called an impromptu full school assembly. Everyone had to go to the gym, in which he proceeded to openly weep while singing Butterfly Kisses a cappella.
As you do.
It was
Why?
it was the most uncomfortable moment of my whole life.
What about
Like,
that
what was
one
the
time-
context? Why did he do this?
God, I
I
hope
don't
Mr.
know.
Robinson isn't listening.
He was a very sweet man, and I feel like there was a reason. So I feel a little bad making fun of him for it, but I don't remember what the reason was at all. So my only memory is being called to the gym where like 400 kids watched this full-grown man cry while singing Butterfly Kisses.
Oh man.
That's your future.
I'm certain there had to be a reason. He was a super sweet man. He probably would still remember me today if he saw me, but.
Or here's this podcast.
Or here's this podcast, Mr. Robinson. I was sorry, but that was weird. That was weird as hell. I'm gonna be honest with you about that one. And
Did you like it
it's
a little
sweet
bit?
boy.
Okay,
I think
related.
it was. Well, I just wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh, so I wasn't very happy.
Well, you were in school.
That
so
was
what
my
were-
recess time.
When I was a kid, I was in choir at church because nobody had yet caught on to the fact that I am incompetent at singing. And wouldn't for a few
We were in the
years.
same church choir.
We were. Don't you remember?
No, I remember because we would always be literally in the middle of a song and you would still be talking to me.
Yes, that's
It would
also
be like,
true.
Chris,
but
we're
the-
standing.
But this was BD before Drew, and before Sweet Sweet Drew had been introduced into my life. We were little kids, and on Christmas they would make us sing "Happy Birthday, Jesus," and it's what it sounds like. It is a very sweet, sweet song, a little too sweet, and at the end we would all have to whisper, "I love you, Jesus." And even as a kid, I was like, "This is stupid. This feels like Happy Birthday, Mr. President, but to Jesus." And I don't like it. I don't want to whisper seductively into my Messiah's ear.
So thank you guys so much for listening. This is Worst Thing Ever with Dylan and Drew. I am your best friend, Dylan.
I'm yours, friend Drew.
Check
And
us
I'm
out.
the troll that lives under your couch.
Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. We're on Snapchat
yeah.
now. All of it's at Worst Pod Ever. Hit us up with questions.
Worst Thing Ever Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah,
Worst
yes,
Thing Ever
that as well.
Podcast.com.
Do you
Hit us
have
up
a
with
hotmail?
questions at
Chris-
hashtag Worst Thing Ever Pod. Ask us
Chris,
questions. We
you
do
do-
actually put questions on the show.
Yeah. If you put a question up on the show, we'll shout you out. Maybe put you on a little page on our website even. Let's see. That was an idea we just had. I like it.
We might send you something that they can't use anymore at their house. Like a box of stale zebra cakes. Those could be yours. With
one
a
napkin.
bite taken out of it.
Chris, you
Yes.
do video editing work. You're
I
very
surely
good at it.
do. Yeah.
What are your aspirations and dreams, and where can people find you?
Well, I'll answer where people can find me first. If you go to Tallahassee and there's a street corner, it's Tennessee Street and Dixie Street. I will be on the corner shouting from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. every day of the week.
That's your shift, yeah.
That's my shift. And then Crazy Rick takes over. He's a card. So that's where you can find me. social media is not something I'm really fully into yet, unfortunately. Maybe next time, hopefully next time on this show, I will have gotten more of a presence. That is something I'm working on. As far as aspirations, short term right now, my do this or die trying goal right now is to get on season 2 of Stranger Things in some capacity.
Oh, yes.
And I fully assume that capacity will be getting people coffee. So if anybody here...
Or playing a body double for Dustin.
Yes, actually that is why, because I want to meet Dustin because I have a theory that I'm Dustin from the future. So I'd really like to see if that holds any water.
Fan theory.
And if anybody listening to this can help me in any way... I didn't want to do any of this. I just wanted it to be a springboard for my own networking. So this has been a terrible hour.
And there's no better way.
Please give me a job, Duffer Brothers.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, this has been Worst Thing Ever. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Deuces.
Bye.